In the previous class, we have started module 5, although it was a recorded lecture. But I will be giving a brief revision within 2-3 minutes, not more than that. Okay, so I hope recording is going on. Yeah, fine. So in module 5, we are going to discuss about mathematical modeling techniques for metal forming processes. And among these, the topics which are mentioned in your syllabus, these are slab method, then upper and lower bound techniques, slip line field theory, and finite element method. Okay, so we have started slab method, and in the recorded lecture, you might find the discussion on open die forging. Okay, so a lot of mathematical expression you will find in this module. Okay, so let me come to the today's discussion. I will not revise it. I will share this PPT. Yes. Okay. So in today's class, today's lecture, we are going to discuss about strip drawing. And in strip drawing, what we will try to do, we will try to apply the slab method. We will try to apply the slab method into the strip drawing operation. Okay, and we will try to find out the approximate force requirement as well as pressure generated during the strip drawing. Okay, so as you can see in this figure, there is a wide strip. You can see this wide strip which is having a width W, and at the entry level it is having some entry height. You can say your initial thickness of the strip is HP. Okay, so this is your initial stiffness of your initial thickness of your strip. This is HB, and at the exit level the height of or the thickness of the strip is HA. Okay, and your W when you compare your W, that is the width of your this metal strip, it is very high as compared to your thickness at entry level. Or since the thickness at entry level, you can say it is thickness at entry level at exit point. Okay, so your width W is quite high as compared to your HA and HP. Okay, so we can say the lateral strain in this case, in this drawing operation, this will be, you can say, very negligible lateral strain will be there, and we can consider this case as a case of plane strain condition. Okay, so this is the a schematic diagram representing your strip drawing. Okay, now let us see this die arrangement. Okay, so the stresses acting on a element in the deformation zone at a distance x. Okay, so how this distance x is being taken, because this is your component or the material which is under the action of forces, and you are drawing your strip through this die opening. Okay, so here we can see there is a triangle. If you can see, this is the triangle. Okay, so this triangle has been created, and you could find a virtual vertex. Here, this is the virtual vertex O, and it is making an angle 2 alpha. Okay, if you take from the horizontal line, then each angle will be alpha and minus alpha. Okay, so if you take the complete angle of this triangle, it will be 2 alpha. Okay, so this is angle 2 alpha, and as I have told, might be those who have seen the recorded lecture, they might be aware that during the slab method, we are converting your strip or the component under the action of forces, or which is under the plastic deformation, into slabs. Okay, so slab, you can say a small element which is having some small thickness or thickness. Okay, so like in this case, this is the particular metal part which is under the action of forces which are going through plastic deformation. Okay, so we have one virtual vertex O, and from this virtual vertex at distance x from this virtual vertex, we are having a elemental strip or slab with the dimension or the width dx. Okay, so this is dx. This is the dimension of your elemental strip, and height of this strip at this point is h, and at this point it is h plus delta h plus dh. Okay, so you can see the let me elaborate through a more clear diagram. Okay, yes. So here the height is h, this height is h, and as you are moving away from this your virtual vertex O at distance x, this height is h. Okay, and this is delta x. So this total length will be from the vertex O. This will be x plus dx. Okay, so we can say the height of your strip at this moment, it becomes h plus dh, right? Okay, so this is how you have taken the strip, and now we will try to see what are the forces that will be acting on this particular metal strip. So if you see at distance x on this plane, the stress which is acting on this plane is sigma x. Okay, and at this point, at the another plane, at the another end of your strip, you are having stress sigma x plus d sigma x. That is the increment in stress corresponding to or due to the this variation of your forces. Okay, so here the stress is sigma x plus d sigma x. Okay, and we can see what is the direction of material flow. Material is flowing in this direction. So obviously at this plane, your this is the material flow direction, and if you see inside the die, the material flow direction will be something like this. Okay, at this is something like this, and at this point something like this. Okay, in this particular direction. So it is having certain angle alpha from your horizontal. Okay, or you can say x-axis. So here we can see, because the material flow direction is this in this deformation zone. So what will happen? You will be having certainly because there is some friction between the surfaces of die and your metal. So if the opposing force will be acting in the opposite to the your direction of your material flow. So suppose you are having coefficient of friction mu, and the pressure acting on the die due to die on the metal strip, it is P. Okay, so P will be acting at perpendicular to the to your die surface. So this will be P, and the opposing force which will be acting, this will be mu P. Okay, I think all of you know from the physics laws that how do we calculate the frictional forces in any body which is moving on a plane having certain frictional coefficient, that is mu. Okay, so we are saying that the force or the pressure which is acting on the metal strip is P. So the corresponding stress will be mu P, which will be opposing the flow of your material through this deformation zone. Okay, so what we will do, we will try to see the equilibrium of the forces. First we will try to see the equilibrium forces in x direction. Okay, so if you try to see the equilibrium forces in x direction, what you will see, you will come to a long equation something like this: sigma x plus d sigma x into h plus dh into w. Okay, so how this term has come, let me elaborate more. We are trying to see the force in this direction. So let us take this direction as the positive. Okay, so minus x we have considered as positive because we are assuming that stress is increasing in this direction. Okay, so what will be the stress? This will be sigma x plus d sigma into the area. So how we will calculate the area? Height is h plus dh into w. So h plus dh into w will represent the area. So how we can calculate the force? Force will be sigma plus d sigma x into area. So area, this we have calculated. This is how this term has come: sigma x plus d sigma x plus into h plus dh into w. So for stress into corresponding area. Then another force is sigma x on this particular strip, which is acting opposite to the previous force. So we can say sigma x into h will be acting opposing to the first force equilibrium. Okay, so minus sigma x into h into w. This is how this has been taken. Okay, now come to these two parts, that is 2p w dx upon cos alpha into sin alpha plus twice of mu p into w dx upon cos alpha into cos alpha. Okay, so let us try to understand how this component has come: twice of p w dx cos alpha into sin alpha, right? So here we are having two forces like p. Okay, so let us try to see this, since this force is acting perpendicular to the die surface, and this die surface is having certain angle. So if we take this angle from the vertical direction, this will be alpha. Okay, so first let us try to see. Let me enlarge this portion and let me draw this again. Okay, so if you redraw. I hope my voice is reaching because I'm presenting audio through my mobile. Okay, there are some calls are coming. If you cannot hear at any moment, kindly let me know. I hope my voice is reaching. Abhishek?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay.
Yes,
Fine.
yes.
Yeah. So if you at any moment if you see my voice is not coming, please tell. Okay. So I am enlarging this portion, and if you see this is the enlarged portion of your strip. Okay, and you are having a force perpendicular to this strip. Okay, P. So okay, and what you are having, you are having a opposing force on this inclined plane. Okay, so since the opposing force is at this inclined plane, what you will require, you will require the area of this particular inclined plane. Okay, how we will calculate the area? This is dx. Okay, this value is dx. Okay, and this angle is alpha. So what will be the this suppose it is ds. So what will be the value of ds? Ds will be equal to dx upon cos alpha. Is that clear? I hope you are able to follow.
Yes.
Your ds will be dx upon cos alpha, right? And what is the width? Width we are having the width of strip is w. So area will be till you can say dA equal to ds dx upon cos alpha into w, right? So this will be the area of your this particular strip. Okay, now what we are trying to see, we are trying to see the opposing forces. Okay, so And the opposing forces, we are having two forces. One is force P, which is acting perpendicular to this force, okay, this surface, and another force we are having, which is acting parallel to this die surface, and its value is mu P. Okay, so what we will do, we know the area on which these forces are working, and now we have to take the component of your force in that particular direction. Okay, so this has been taken w dx upon cos alpha. This has been already taken, right? Now what you have to do, this angle will be alpha because this angle is alpha. We have taken this portion here. Okay, so this angle will be alpha. So if you want to take the component of this force P in this particular direction, in x direction, so how this value will be calculated? What will be the component? This will be P sine alpha. Am I correct? The value will be P sine alpha, right? Because this angle is alpha and this value is P. So the value of component in x direction, this will be P sine alpha, right? So these will be this will be acting at the upper die, as well as the same amount of force will be acting in the lower die. Okay, so this will become twice P sine alpha. Okay, and on which surface it is working? It is working on the area delta A. Okay, multiplied by delta A, right? So this is how this will be 2p sine alpha into delta A. Delta is dx upon cos alpha into w. So this is how this term has come, 2p sine alpha into dx upon cos alpha into w. Okay, so this component has come because of this particular force, that is the pressure P, which is applied on the metal strip. Then now see the opposing force, that is the mu P. If you try to see the opposing force mu P, it is acting in this direction, and if you want to take the component of this force, so the force will be mu P into delta A, mu P into delta A. So delta A, we are having this value, and if you want to take the component of this particular force in x direction, okay, so this will be mu P delta A into cos alpha, right? So this value, the component of force in this direction, this will be mu P delta A into cos alpha. So this is how this term has come, twice of mu P into cos alpha into delta A. Delta A, we are having w dx upon cos alpha. So taking the considering the equilibrium, the forces, equilibrium of forces in x direction, it should be equal to 0. Okay, so here what we can do, we can neglect, because delta dx and dx will be very small, and multiplication of these again will be a very small quantity. And in the whole term, you can see w is common. Here is w, then this is w, then this w, then this w. So we can eliminate w, that is the width of your strip, and you can eliminate these. You can neglect these components, like the multiplication result of d sigma x into dh. Okay, so this equation will yield something like this after you solve it, because this cos sine by cos, it will become 10, and this cos alpha and cos alpha, this will be cancelled out. Okay, and we have neglected d sigma into dh, and w has been eliminated from the whole term. Okay, so this term, after simplification, it will come something like this. Okay, so likewise there are some mathematical formulation throughout this this slab method. I will be sharing this PPT, and I will expect that all of you do this by yourself, because might be during the presentation I might have skipped certain small steps. So those steps you need to do by your own self during the examination. Now here you can see uh, here, let us come here. So again, come to this metal strip. Let me draw it on a, okay, let me erase all, then I can, okay. So here you can see this strip height is h, okay, and this height is h plus th, okay. Let me redraw this triangle. This will be something like this, okay. So I have redrawn this. What will be this value? This will be h or h by 2, dh or dh by 2, because this whole height is dh. So half portion is in the bottom side and half portion is in the upper side. So this will be dh by 2, right? This is dx. Okay. So if you take the tan of this alpha, then how can you calculate the tan alpha? Tan alpha will be dh/2 upon dx. Okay, or if you simplify it, it can be 2 dx into tan alpha equal to dh. Okay. So you can simplify these mathematical term by yourself. Like the final result is dh equal to 2 dx into tan alpha. Okay, like I have explained here. Okay, so these mathematical term I expect that you will be practicing. And now, since now you have got dh equal to 2 dx tan alpha, you will put this value in equation number 32. Okay, if you put this value dh into this particular equation, equation number 32, you will and if you simplify it, you will get some expression something like this: h d sigma x plus p 1 plus mu cot alpha into dh equal to 0. Or in other term, if you more simplify it, can be written as 1 plus this mu cot alpha had been replaced by capital B, new constant, because these values will be constant. Mu is constant and alpha is constant. So you can put another constant B, and where B is equal to mu cot alpha. Okay. So okay, now let us move ahead. Similarly, because I have explained to you the equilibrium of forces in x direction. Okay, so I will expect that you will solve by yourself that how the equilibrium of forces in y direction will take place. Suppose in y direction you will be having certain stress sigma y. Okay, and in and other forces like P and mu P, you will be considering their component, and if you consider their equilibrium, you will yield up to some mathematical expression something like this. Okay, so the equilibrium of forces in vertical direction, if you consider it and you solve it by your own self, you will yield up with some equilibrium, some forces acting on this strip in vertical direction. The forces will be something like this. Okay, and in more simple way, it has been again reduced, and it has been written sigma y into dx plus p, dx minus mu p tan alpha into dx equal to 0. Okay, so again, further simply only mathematical expressions are there. You can do by yourself also. Sigma y dx equal to, again this term has been sent to the other side, and it is minus p 1 minus mu tan alpha into dx. For small values of mu alpha, for small values of mu and alpha, you can ignore mu tan alpha. So you can say your sigma y, because dx and dx will be cancelled out and you have ignored this particular term. So you can say your sigma y is approximately equal to minus p. Okay, because sigma y is what? Sigma y is your principal axis, principal stress. So you can use this term in the von Mises yield criteria. Okay, so we have find out sigma 3. Sigma 3 is, or you can say sigma y is equal to approximately equal to minus p. Yes, I was talking about one yield criteria. So we remember the yield criteria. Yield criteria is, what is yield criteria? One Mises yield criteria: sigma 1 minus sigma 3 equal to y. Sigma 1 equal to sigma x. Sigma 3 equal to what we have got? Sigma 3 equal to sigma y, which is equal to minus p. Okay. So minus minus, this will become plus, equal to y. Sigma x plus p equal to y. Now this will become your yield criteria. Yes. So what you have to do, you have to put this value, that is value of p in your equation number 33. What is the equation number 33? Let us see. Yes. So your equation number 33 is something like this: h d sigma x plus p 1 plus p dh equal to 0. Okay. So once you put the value of p, you will yield up some expression something like this, and dx upon sigma x b, as I told, it was a constant which was equal to mu cot alpha. B into sigma x minus y 1 plus p equal to dh upon x. Other mathematical, now what we will do, we will integrate, because mu is constant, your y is constant, so we will integrate this equation, and what we will get, 1 upon b natural log of this denominator, then equal to natural log of h plus some constant c. Okay, so I have written as c dash, right? So some constant, again, by simplification you will get some term something like this. Okay, just a second, let me check it. Equation number 39, it is having certain error. Okay, no, it is correct. So for sigma, for this, after simplification, this equation has end up with this particular term, and here your constant c is representing e raised to the power c dash b, because this c dash constant was here. Okay, and we have not taken e raised to the power c dash b. So we have introduced another constant c, or otherwise you can write e raised to the power c dash b into hp, right? Yes. Now let us try to apply the boundary conditions. What are the boundary conditions? We can say boundary condition at the entry level point, you will have sigma x equal to 0. That is, at this point, at this point, your sigma b will be xb will be 0. Okay. So sigma x at entry level, this will be equal to sigma xb, this will be equal to 0. And what will be the value of h? H will be equal to your initial thickness of your state. So what is the initial thickness? This is hp. Okay, if you put these values, sigma x equal to 0 and h equal to hb, you will get some expression something like this, because sigma x equal to 0, so this 0 has been eliminated, minus y 1 plus b c hb. Okay, and yes, by simplification, you get this term. Let me see which is the point of interest. Yes, so you get this term which will be useful in further elaboration. Sigma x upon y equal to 1 plus b upon b, 1 minus h upon hb. This is bracket. Okay, bracket has been missed. 1 minus, this is h, this is bracket on h upon hb raised to the power capital B. Okay, just a second, let me see this, otherwise I will miss this. Okay, so we have one correction at equation number 14. Okay, so this equation, this small bracket has been missed. This will be h upon hp raised to the power b, right? This will be your equation number 41. Now let us try to see your stresses, that the drawing stresses. Xa is the value of sigma x at the die exit. Okay, so what is the value of stress at the die exit? It is sigma xa. Okay, so at exit point, what is the height? Height h is equal to ha. Height is h equal to ha. Okay, so if you put this value again, you will get in the again here one bracket has been missed in all these equations. The left hand side bracket has been missed. Okay, so I will correct this PPT, and here you can see only what we have done. We have put the value of values of sigma x and high thickness at the exit level. Okay, so sigma x is equal to sigma xa at exit level, and thickness of strip is equal to HA, right? So we have simply put these values, and you have got this term sigma xa upon y, 1 plus b upon b into 1 minus HA upon HB raised to the power b. This is your equation number 42. Similarly, you can calculate from equation number 36. So what is equation number 36? Okay, so either from the equation number 36 or using the equation number 37, wherever you feel comfortable, you can yield up. You can yield up with the with this equation p upon xy at any distance x from your virtual vertex. Your what was your virtual vertex? This was your virtual vertex O. Okay, so any distance at distance x, you can calculate the value of p upon y. P upon y at any distance x, this will be 1 minus 1 plus p upon b into 1 minus h upon hb raised to the power b. Okay, so through this mathematical expression, you can calculate the tie pressure at any point. Okay, at any point which wherever you are interested to calculate the pressure in this particular example of plastic deformation, that is the strip drawing, right? So I hope, because there are a lot of mathematical expressions involved, and I will be sharing this PPT immediately with all of you in WhatsApp group, and I will expect that all of you go through these expressions and practice these the slab method for the your open die forging as well as strip